Ladies and gentlemen, so today, courtesy of the legendary MCOC mod, which if you want to check out this video on Havok and Mr. Sinister, kind of all the data mine stuff, if you want to pick through it on your own terms, a link to it will be in the description and also the comments section below if you want to check it out. But we're going to pick apart this video to talk about the synergies that Mr. Sinister and Havok are going to be bringing into the game, and there is a lot of very, very interesting stuff. If you have kind of any high-level mutant, like if you are a big fan of like Domino, a Mega Red, Sabretooth, Iceman, Emma Frost, Archangel, you know, there are so many top mutant characters. It looks like you want to pick up a Mr. Sinister, and I hope some of these all-mutant synergies being fairly near the top are even available on the 3-star version, but we won't be able to confirm that for another, you know, couple of weeks until the release of the character, but there's some insane stuff, especially with the Cable synergy here, so let's have a little bit of a chat. So the Cable one is the one I'm most excited about, you know, having a maxed out Domino, because this one seems really, really good. Also a Mega Red. I see like so many cool uses for it across characters, but a Mega Red and Domino I think are really going to benefit from this one. So randomly at the start of the fight, if you've got Cable, and again this affects all mutants, you're going to gain one of 3 passive effects. So it's either 25% more attack rating, plus 25% passive power rate. I'm not too sure if that just applies to passives or it's indicating it's a passive buff. Hopefully it's all power gain there, or plus 25% passive armor rating. So yeah, I'm hoping this is kind of a flat increase to either plus 25% attack rate, power gain, or armor rating there, but it is worded, you know, a little bit differently. But at the very least, you know, this is plus 25% passive attack rating, so that could be absolutely huge for certain champions. But if it also does provide the plus 25% power gain, that's going to be absolutely crazy when used on you know, characters like a Mega Red, which can use that additional power gain to increase the regeneration even more and get, you know, even more special 2s even faster. But it does, you know, this one is a little bit of a gamble as well, because you don't know exactly what you're going to get at the start, and the armor rating is going to be a bit useless as well. But 2 out of 3 times, I assume you're going to roll something very, very useful, so that one could be absolutely insane. Really looking forward to that one. The next one is Mutant Domination, and I was trying to think, and I've come a little bit blank on this one, but you know, maybe if you're a very, very die-hard mutant player, this one essentially means you gain plus 20% passive fury when fighting with the class disadvantage, so against, I assume, tech champions, and maybe also characters that are marked as, what is it, kind of the, you know, like Maestro the Collector. I don't know the exact name of it, but it's the, you know, the dominant ISO one. Maybe this is going to be quite helpful there, so I'm interested to see if it works in those matchups. But that one, you know, if you want to bring mutants against tech champions, could be fairly interesting there. Then the other 2 that Mr. Sinister has going down a little bit more. So he has, there are 2 new synergies this month for Cyclops. There's one on Mr. Sinister and one on Havok, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So this one affects Mr. Sinister, Cyclops, both of them, and Phoenix as well, and causes special attacks to have plus 20% crit rating. So that on its own is absolutely huge there. That is an insane amount of additional crit, but also grit gain True Strike as well, which means the special attacks can ignore all armor, all resistance, all evasion, and all auto block as well. So yeah, that's just going to be really, really decent. Kind of a nice boost, because especially with Cyclops, a lot of the damage at the moment does come off those special attacks. So to have them like almost get very, very close to a guaranteed crit there, and also have that additional bit of utility is going to be pretty damn nice there. And also having it on Phoenix as well is a little bit interesting. I don't really believe a lot of you know, Phoenix's damage output comes from the special attacks. There's not like an insane amount of damage unless you're like 11 Furies and fire off a special 3. So I don't think this is going to be too huge for Phoenix, but also this does apply to Mr. Sinister himself, so it means he's got this additional bit of utility to bypass auto block and evasion with his special attacks, and also additional crit rating on those. So that should be pretty interesting there. And then finally, we have a synergy which I'm pretty excited for, because I feel like this is going to be so useful in certain matchups like Hyperion and MODOK as well. So this one applies to Mr. Sinister himself, Kingpin, Ultron, and MODOK, which is each time the opponent uses a special attack, they become power locked for 6 seconds. I think that's absolutely mega. That sounds really, really good for those matchups, because you imagine you know, like fighting your standard like Mordo Hyperion, how often champions like that, and with champions with like big power gain as well, throw their special attacks. If we're looking at nodes like 100% power gain, 200% power gain, you know, you get to the special one, they throw their special attack, and then you've got 6 seconds, which if you're playing quite aggressively, that's time for like 10 hits there, so you can get a fair bit of damage off. So this seems, you know, pretty decent, man. A really, really nice bit of utility on, you know, 4 champions that I think really need it. Like MODOK, he needs a little bit more, Kingpin needs a little bit more, and certainly Ultron needs a little bit more as well. So I think this is a really good synergy. I think it's going to have quite a few uses throughout the game, and I'm very excited to see kind of what scenarios that one might be useful for in the future, but it seems pretty good, man. Seems pretty good. Now, in terms of Mr. Sinister's base stats as well, because it's something I'm always a little bit curious about, because sometimes these can make and break a character. There's nothing too special. His crit rating, his crit damage rating, it's not absolute rubbish, but it's a little bit toward the lower end, comparatively speaking. One thing to note, which I always really like, is the block proficiency on Mr. Sinister is well above average. That's at 69.1% there. Most champions don't really go above 64%. So yeah, he's going to have, I assume, very close to perfect parries in the majority of scenarios, which is going to make him, if you want to play him for stuff like Alliance Quest, fairly sustainable there. So yeah, a bit of an interesting one with Mr. Sinister's block proficiency. And he does have a singular heavy attack as well, which, I don't know, man. Might give him some curious uses. But anyway, let's have a bit of a chat now about Havok Synergies, because Havok has some additional stuff as well to pile on here. So if we kind of move toward this slide and then go to the top. So the first one he's got is with both the Cyclops and Mr. Sinister. So this allows Havok to gain 2 plasma charges after each special attack. This is going to be great for Havok because he's all about generating those plasma charges and converting them into even more damage. Mr. Sinister gains additional degeneration damage on a well-timed block, so a parry, which will deal 30% of attackers' direct damage over 1 second. So this seems really nice. I imagine there's going to be some interesting ways you can play him. With this, maybe using like double medium combos or like medium heavy to, you know, get a bit more damage in very few hits. So this might come in useful in certain scenarios there. And also we've got the Cyclops one. So as well with Mr. Sinister having that increased crit on the specials, the armor break effects on Cyclops increase their duration by 100%. And I think this is going to be so incredibly beneficial, especially to the OG Cyclops, who has a bit of a shorter armor break, but it's a little bit more powerful there. But I think this is going to be great for both of the Cyclops characters to kind of jack them up a little bit more. So I'm interested to see with both of the synergies, is Cyclops going to be a little bit better? But who knows? We're going to have to do a bit of testing. Now, the next synergy, which is one I'm very excited about, especially, I mean, for both of the characters, really, but we've got ones with Wolverine and Nightcrawler here. The Havok one is each time Havok deals energy damage to the opponent, he's a 10% chance to gain a plasma charge, and the majority of his attacks are energy based, so that's gonna, you know, stack up the plasma charges even more, and you can double it with the awakened ability. Also with Wolverine as well, passively increases his attack by 20% of base attack while under the effects of a regeneration buff. So this is going to be a really nice damage bonus to Wolverine. And Wolverine, he has this regeneration buff active pretty much 24/7. So yeah, that's a very solid chunk there. And the Nightcrawler one, which I like probably the most, because this is one of the annoying things when playing Nightcrawler. You know, you want to be in swashbuckling mode for that increased damage output and deep wound chance. So not only does that allow you to begin the fight in swashbuckling mode so that you don't have to, you know, quickly dash back and switch, you can just go in and nuke, but it also increases the chance for him to strike a deep wound by a flat 30%, so that's going to increase his damage output even more. So yeah, really nice for Nightcrawler there. If you've got a 5 or 6 star one, you definitely want to look up picking up a Havok if you are a big fan of this champion. And then we have the final synergy here, which is with both Captain America. It seems to only be the classic version of Captain America, so this doesn't have, you know, the icon for the World War II or Infinity War one, which I'm a little bit gutted about, man, because this would be so great if it applied to all of the Captain Americas. But essentially, Havok, well-timed blocks are going to grant him 1 plasma charge. Captain America passively increases attack by 20% of base attack when striking a debuffed opponent. So, you know, he has his little, what is it, fatigue while blocking, so you can get a little bit more more damage there. But I think probably the most exciting one for kind of Quantum Trinity players might be the Wasp one. So this is when Wasp charges a heavy attack while hitting with a basic attack combo, which is fairly standard in your combo. She's going to gain a passive Fury effect, increasing her attack by 50% of her base attack for 3 seconds. And if you've played with Wasp in kind of the 4 combo heavy attack style, you notice as soon as you throw the heavy at the moment, because it's a guaranteed crit, that's where a lot of the damage does come from. So like with this as well, that's just going to be such a nice chunk of additional Wasp damage there. So yeah, this one's going to be really, really good with a Havok and Wasp synergy. I'm very excited to see that one. And that's going to beef up Wasp a little bit more, because she does need, you know, a bit more damage output there. So you've got it from that heavy attack and, you know, maybe the start of the next combo as well. But overall, as well as that, we've got Havok's base stats. So crit rating, crit damage rating are a little bit below average. Nothing super special there, but it's alright at the same time. However, his block proficiency is slightly above average as well. So that is looking pretty damn decent for Havok. But overall, there are a lot of really good synergies, man. A lot of very, very nice bonuses to a lot of champions. So I'm very interested to kind of play about with the new champion synergies as they come out, and maybe do a couple of Cyclops videos once both champions are released, and hopefully we can get our hands on a 3-star version of both of these champions so we can test out, you know, some of the brand new synergies there. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching today's synergy breakdown video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. What synergy out of all of these are you looking forward to the most? Which one do you think is going to be the most effective? Let me know in the comment section below. But aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.